with the third finger. And then walk around the major scale to get to the A. And you can play that open A string on the bottom if you like. And then in using the steel bends, what I like to do is if I'm going to a G, I'll play the G in that format. So my third finger is on the ninth fret, on the D string. First finger is on the 7th fret G string, and my second finger is on the 8th fret B string. And then I will slide that so that our finger position now is our second finger is on the 10th fret D string, and our third finger is on the 10th fret B string, and we're going to slide that up 2 frets. And if you notice, now that we've slid that up, we have access to our G position on the 12th fret barred, so that we can use the same steel guitar bends that we used in D. So if you actually put all of this together in a beautiful solo with delay turned on like that, you can create something that sounds like this. So that's talking a little bit about some steel guitar bends. Now let's have some fun. Another thing that I love to add to my playing is bends behind the nut. And actually this is a lot of fun to do. I use the bending behind the nut when I'm playing in the key of A. And you can pretty much set your delay anyhow you'd like it, or any way that you'd like it. And what I do when I'm bending behind the nut is I will actually bend the G string up a whole tone. And I'm actually using my second and third finger to do that. Now if you guys can see with the cameras here, I have a round string tree up between the third and the fourth pegs of my guitar, so that I have all this room in here to bend behind the nut. And actually I'll bend that up, and then I'll release it back down. Then reaching up and grabbing the D string and pulling that down. Hitting the G note on the bottom, open. Releasing the D back down, and then coming back on the fretboard and doing a hammer-on from the 3rd to 4th fret on the A string, and then our A chord. So we have... Now as you can hear, I'm hitting the little E string on the bottom of that. So that's a lot of fun to use in chicken picking. Let me just show you how that'll sound. Another thing that's cool with chicken picking is that you can use open string licks. Here's one in the key of D. So what we're doing here is we're actually starting on the 3rd note of the D major scale. Now Now this is going to sound a little bit weird at first when I'm demonstrating this because it sounds quite dissonant. So what I'm doing is I'm playing the 7th fret B string with my 2nd finger, and then I'm dropping down the fretboard with my 1st finger on the 6th fret B string, then hitting an open E. And I'm jumping up with my 2nd finger to the G string, 7th fret. Then my 1st finger is going to the 5th fret on the G string, followed by an open B string. Then we're jumping up to the 7th fret again with our 3rd finger, and following that with our open G string. Now we're down the fretboard with our 3rd finger on the D string, 4th fret, which can lead you into your D chord. And you can also carry that back down the major scale. So that's an open D scale. That just shows you an example of what chicken pickers will do. Let me just show you how that will sound. So that's just an example of an open string lick. Another one that I'd like to show you real quick is in the key of G, and the finger pattern is not really that different. This is how the G open scale sounds. Now what we're doing is we're placing our 2nd finger on the 8th fret B string, and then we're following that by our 1st finger on the 7th fret, followed by an open E string. And as we hit the open E string, we'll be jumping to the 7th fret G string with our 3rd finger, followed by our 1st finger on the 5th fret G string, followed by an open B string, then jumping up to the D string on the 7th fret, and then followed by our open G string. And actually, once you get to this point, then it's basically like an open G scale down here. So what we're doing is actually using an open G string. So we're to this point. And from the open G string, we're just working back down. So our 3rd finger is on the 4th fret D string, followed by our 1st finger on the 2nd fret D string. Then an open D, followed by our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, followed by our 2nd finger on the 2nd fret A string, following that with an open A string, and then to our G note, 3rd fret low E. But to get real good at these open string licks and scales, what I would recommend is just sitting in your room and practicing the rolls. And you want to get good at using them in different patterns, different sequences. For example, I'm going to go from G to D. You know, different situations like that. And I'll show you how you can combine the two. So that just shows you how you can combine the two. All right, now I'd like to go ahead and talk to you a little bit about the gear that I'm using. All right, as you can all see here, I'm using a Gold Sparkle Telecaster. I'm a Level A artist endorsee for Fender Musical Instruments, and I really want to thank Jim DeCola for building such a fine guitar for me. This is basically off the Danny Gatton model. I really wanted a guitar that looked like Danny's because I'm such a Gatton fan, and but I really wanted something like Danny's, but different. So we sparkled the gold color, and as you can see, I have a regular maple neck, but it's quite figured. It's a bird's eye with a standard C-oval neck with Clouson style tuners and a round string tree so that I can bend behind the nut. And I'm using 3 Joe Barden pickups in this telly. Joe Bardens provide a real high output, and they're very clean pickups. And I just find that I love them very much. I'm also using the J. Montrose style knobs here. As you can see, they've got quite a knurl to them. And they actually stand up a little higher than most telly knobs so that I can get the tone knob to respond. And as all you Gatton fans know, that Danny had the wah effect in his tone pot. So I have the Montrose knobs, and I'm actually I'm using a 5-way switch here. And I have a different configuration in the wiring here with these Joe Bardens. I'm actually using 1, 3, and 5 are basically like a stock Telecaster. So on the back pickup, you have a pretty traditional back telly sound. Number 2, you have a Steve Warnerish kind of second position stratier tone. And again, in number 3, I'm back to a middle telly sound. Now in the 4th position, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. I'm actually using the middle strat sound, so I'm using the middle pickup by itself. So it's a little bit thicker sounding than the middle telly position. And then, of course, up front, I have my front telly pickup. And that'll pretty much complete the pickups. The only other thing I'd like to show you about this Telecaster is the slide clip that I'm using here. A guy by the name of Tom Serber came up with this idea. And I'm using a tapered Dunlop slide. And this is the slide clip. It's actually available on my website, johnnyhiland.com. And they pretty much fit any guitar that you want to put them on. They're basically a rubber that you can bend around the contour of any guitar. And you can have your slide at your fingertips. It's fantastic. Now let me tell you about the amps that I'm using back here. I normally use a 65 Blackface reissue twin when I play live gigs. And coming to New York here to shoot the video, Tom Gage was kind enough to let me use his original 65 Blackface twin. And thank you so very much, Tom. It's such a beautiful amp, man. And the 65 Blackface basically has 80 watts, all tube, 212s, just stock Fender speakers, and I think back then they might have used Jensen speakers. But it has a real nice fat bottom end sound, as you can hear from me playing throughout the video. And in the studio, what I like to use is a little Fender Deluxe. And this is actually Arlen's amp that he played in this video. And the Deluxe is just a smaller version of the twin, and I like that for the studio because you can crank it up and make it break up real good when you're in a studio. And I guess that's all I should really tell you about these amps, but I'll tell you what, I really love a Fender amp. You can't beat the tone. Now let's talk about this pedal board here. You can actually see there's a bunch of wires and stuff going on here. That's just from jamming with Holloman. He made it look all this way. Actually, I'm just kidding. But basically what I'm running down here is a CS3 compressor and the BD2 blues driver and the TU2 tuner from Boss. And I'm powering everything here with a Voodoo Lab power supply. And recently I've just been sponsored by Line 6, and they've provided these 2 pedals here. This is a delay module over here in green, and right now I'm basically running an analog delay. And And with the expression pedal that my foot is on here, I can control the level of delay that I'm using. And basically I have a digital delay set in number 1, the analog delay set in number 2, and a tape delay set in number 3. And number 4 here is a tap, so that you can tap to the tempo of any tune and set the delay. And also there's an expression pedal that you can set the speed of your delay by using your foot. Over here, this blue unit, I actually have it set to Danny Gatton style Leslie effect. And with the pedal all the way back, it basically sounds like a chorus. And then as I move the pedal down, the Leslie will start to rotate. And then in number 2 here, I have a pretty standard tremolo. And again, with the expression pedal over here, I can speed or slow down that tremolo as I need to in the studio. And in the third position here, I have a Waylon Jennings kind of tone that I use in the clubs for the Waylon tunes. And then in number 4 patch here, I have more of a distorted sounding mid-rangey Leslie. And actually the board itself is a new product that just came out called the Pedal Train. And that's basically all my pedal board is. It's very small, yet effective for both live gigs and for the studio. Well, I sure have enjoyed making this video for y'all today, and again, I want to thank Arlen for allowing me to be here and do this for y'all. It's such a pleasure. And again, I want to thank Tom Gage for the use of his 65 Twin. Such a beautiful amp. So this is Johnny Hiland saying, keep on picking. Thank you.